Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, these are my thoughts on the FA Cup match that has just happened that ended Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 1. And that means Chelsea have booked their place in the next round against Leeds. And what a match it was. I mean, what a match it was. Considering our last few performances, I kind of went into this match having absolutely no expectation, completely expecting us to just not be able to handle the moment, handle the atmosphere, and just end up losing. But wow, what a performance from all these players. An absolutely exceptional match from them. I mean, I can't fault a single player in the end. It was a practically a perfect match, just obviously conceding that last 1 or 2 minute goal right in the end of the match. But other than that, it was a completely perfect match, and it was such a different performance than we saw against Liverpool and Wolves. So anyway, with the lineup, we had Petrovic in goal, we had Gusto on the right, Disassi and Badiashile as our centre backs this time, and then Chilwell on the left. We actually went for a two in midfield instead of a 4-3-3. We went for a 4-2-3-1. So we had Caicedo and Enzo playing together alongside one another, which was something which I think a lot of Chelsea fans have been calling for all season. And I mean, they completely dictated play. They were two of the best players on the pitch, and they've shown exactly why they work perfectly together. So just in front of them, we had Gallagher, we had Noni, and we had Jackson on the left, and then again we had Cole Palmer as a kind of false nine. But yeah, no, this was just. I mean, it was a dream win. It felt very un-Chelsea, or felt very unlike the Chelsea we've had over the last couple of years. This was a very straightforward and just quite easy win. So into the first half, and I mean, really, other than the first 5 minutes or so, where Villa looked pretty good, we dominated. We absolutely dominated. Every single player, player for player, these guys had an exceptional game. And I mean, this was without, to me anyway, I feel this is probably our best performance of the season, considering how poor we've been recently. And considering also Aston Villa have only before this match lost two out of the last 23 games this year. I mean, when you think about how good, how great they've been, how poor we've been, no one could have predicted that Chelsea would win this 3-1. And I mean, with such an easy win in the end. I mean, throughout the entire match, really, whenever they try to create anything, especially through their channels, what what the Aston Villa players would find is that one Aston Villa player would have to come up against three Chelsea players. Our players effectively moved as a unit to block off any sort of opportunity that Aston Villa were trying to create. So anyway, on to our first goal, and it all starts with Jackson running down the wing. Great, gets into the box, pass to Noni, brilliant pass, good control from Noni, layoff, and then Conor Gallagher really channeling his inner Lampard there. Great little late run into the box, goal, top corner, outstanding. I mean, this is also his first goal of the season, and I mean, what a time to get it! What an important time to get it! And you could just see from these players, as soon as we went 1-0 up, a massive weight was lifted off their shoulders. I mean, considering how poor we've been in the last two, especially two games where we've conceded 8 goals, naturally they come under a lot of pressure from fans, from media, from journalists, where people were really questioning their ability and all that sort of stuff. Also questioning if they even going to function well as a team. Well, I mean, they proved all of us wrong. They were absolutely exceptional tonight. And personally, I just want to see us play more like that. There was no fear, and we just absolutely dominated on the pitch. For our second goal, I mean, it starts in an hour and a half, gets it to Noni. Noni runs down the right hand side, pass to Gusto. Gusto cross into the box, and then just a brilliant glancing header from Nicholas Jackson. He missed an easy header last weekend against Wolves, but this was just perfect. I mean, all the pace from Gusto, little glancing header into the corner, easy 2-0 Chelsea, and you're just thinking at that point, surely now we're in the complete driving seat. And I mean, it was a perfect first half. I couldn't fault a single player. One thing I do really want to say is having Caicedo and Enzo next to each other is such a massive difference. I mean, you could just see the way they were dictating the play. We had complete control of that midfield, which is something which we haven't done for so much of this season. I don't know why Pochettino was so insistent on playing Enzo so much further forward than he should be. Having them next to each other is perfect. No one can get past them, and they're such brilliant players. They can beat any player they want to, and they were just absolutely outstanding. And obviously with Enzo, over the last few days, you had a lot of journalists really take advantage of the situation with Chelsea and start to try and spread false rumors like, oh, he wasn't happy at Chelsea, he wants to leave already. Obviously, Enzo's agent came out, I think it was like yesterday or today, and like it's basically just said it's not true. I mean, Enzo and Caicedo are just it's a really exciting partnership that as long as they keep playing alongside each other, Chelsea will definitely thrive. And it's something that I'm very, very happy with. We almost had a really, just a massive calamity right at the end of the first half when I think it was Ben Chilwell just did a really bad kind of foul throw. And then they obviously went on the attack. And it was the first time I've seen Ollie Watkins in the entire half. He just didn't, his pass wasn't good enough to McGinn, and McGinn couldn't get enough power on it. So luckily it was a good save from Petrovic. But I mean, other than that, I mean, we kept Ollie Watkins and by keeping Ollie Watkins, we have to give a lot of credit to players like Disasi in the defence because he just kept him quiet the entire match really, and that's something that not many defenders have been able to do. They basically just kept the main striker for Aston Villa out the game. So yeah, I mean, other than that one blip right at the end of the first half, it was exceptional, and you can't criticize any player, which is such a nice feeling too. But obviously, you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, half time is 2-0. The next goal is massive. The next goal was always going to be the biggest goal in this match when we went 2-0 up. So coming into the second half, and you're thinking, okay, like I mean, look, Chelsea were playing as well as they're going to play. Aston Villa were playing atrociously. Again, partly due to how well Chelsea were playing, but also partly due to how poorly Aston Villa just were playing. Surely Emery is going to change something, and this is going to be a much more difficult game. No, no, absolutely nothing changed. Absolutely nothing changed, and it was a lovely feeling because you're always worried when you're playing very well when half time comes around that maybe it comes around at the wrong time and you lose all that momentum you picked up. But the reality is Chelsea started that second half exactly how they kind of ended the first half in a completely dominant fashion, making sure that whenever Aston Villa had the ball, two or three Chelsea players were around them, closing them down, trying to nick the ball in a dangerous position, and then we can start a counter attack and it was just, I mean, yeah, there was nothing Aston Villa could do. And then on the was it the 54th minute, Chelsea get a free kick just outside of Aston Villa's box, and I mean, we score it like it was an Enzo Fernandez. I mean, what a goal! What a free kick from Enzo Fernandez! Like it was just, it was so exceptional, and it's just a great way. As soon as that went in, 3-0 up before the 60th minute, and you're there like, surely, that's it. Surely we've won now. Surely, I mean, obviously Chelsea were 3-0 up against Luton, and then in space of 10 minutes, almost threw that away. But the way that Chelsea were playing, I mean, you just thought that like that's it. Surely we're done. 3-0, and it was such an exceptional free kick, and I absolutely loved Enzo Fernandez's celebration as well. I mean, he obviously got booked for it, but I mean, he's he's such an exciting player to have in your team, and what a free kick. But again, yeah. So that was it then. I mean, 3-0, you're done surely. And then I think there probably around the was it around the 75th minute we had a couple of substitutions. We had players like Thiago Silva coming on and Raheem Sterling coming on, and I mean, it was an annoying one because for the last I think 15 minutes or so, Chelsea kind of went back into a sort of defensive mindset, and it was partly due to these substitutions that we made, where we kind of just essentially decided to hang back. Obviously, we were 3-0 up, so I do understand. But I mean, yeah, so the last 15 minutes we went into a more defensive mindset. Aston Villa had more of the ball. Right at the end of the, I think not right at the end, but the 81st minute, we picked up another injury. We picked up another injury to Badiashile, which is just I don't know what's going on with Chelsea in injuries this season. It's crazy. Caicedo doesn't, from what I can see, he's not actually injured. He may have picked something up, but it's not too bad, and he stayed on for the rest of the match, which was quite nice. But I mean, yeah, Chile had to go off, which is just another potentially another massive player for us injured. Anyway, right at the end of the match, it was the 91st minute where Aston Villa get a goal. Uh, I mean, no chance of Petrovic. Goes about, I think it goes through about three or four bodies, hits the inside of the post, I mean, you couldn't have got the goal in a more perfect position. It's inside the post and just goes in. And yeah, sure. And that's the one frustrating thing about tonight. I say, like, as great as we are, we just couldn't keep a clean sheet. And it's so frustrating because this was a perfect performance from this team, but we just could not keep a clean sheet. And that is such a frustrating feeling because we would have really deserved a 3-0 win. But anyway, I mean, yeah, the final whistle was blown, and wow, what a performance though. I mean, this is such an exceptional performance that I mean, it means nothing. This performance means nothing if we don't build on it, because we've seen this before where Chelsea have put on some extremely impressive performances against. There was one against Man City recently as well, where you thought, okay, is this the time when Chelsea finally look begin to push on, and it never happened. So as great as this performance was, it means absolutely nothing if we don't actually use it and as a springboard and really push on. So our next game, which is going to double check, is on the 12th of February against Crystal Palace, so a London derby. And then our next game is against Man City. So two massive games coming in the next couple of weeks. And obviously, at the end of the month, we have a cup final against Liverpool. But yeah, so Palace on the 12th, which is the next game, and hopefully again we can build on this momentum. But anyway, guys, so yeah, if you enjoyed this content, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all on the 12th when we have hopefully beaten Crystal Palace.